Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because today, we're diving deep into the extraordinary life of one of the most iconic figures in American history, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the man who inspired a generation and changed the world in ways still felt today. John F. Kennedy, often remembered simply as JFK, wasn't just a president. He was an idea, a symbol of courage, hope, and youth in a time when the world stood on the edge of chaos. His words could move millions, his smile could disarm opponents, and his leadership defined an era of optimism. Yet, behind the charm and power lay a man who faced endless struggles with health, politics, and fate itself. This is his story. John Fitzgerald Kennedy was born on May 29, 1917, in Brookline, Massachusetts, into one of America's wealthiest and most ambitious families. His father, Joseph P. Kennedy, was a successful businessman and political figure, while his mother, Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy, was the daughter of a former Boston mayor. From birth, John was groomed for greatness. The Kennedys believed deeply in service, competition, and victory. But Jack, as his family called him, was never the strongest of the bunch. He battled illness after illness, including severe back pain and Addison's disease, which nearly took his life more than once. Still, every challenge built his resilience, something that would later define his presidency. Jack attended Harvard University, where he developed a fascination for politics and global affairs. His final year thesis, analyzing Britain's policy of appeasement toward Nazi Germany, was later published as a book titled Why England Slept. Even then, Kennedy showed flashes of the sharp analytical mind and leadership instincts that would make him famous. When World War II broke out, Kennedy joined the U.S. Navy, refusing to let his poor health stop him. In 1943, while commanding a small patrol boat in the Pacific, PT-109, his vessel was rammed and destroyed by a Japanese destroyer. 2 of his men died instantly. The rest, stranded in the dark ocean, looked to Kennedy for hope. What followed became the stuff of legend. He swam for miles through shark-infested waters, dragging a wounded crewman by a strap clenched in his teeth. For 6 days, he led his men across islands, searching for rescue. That courage earned him the Navy and Marine Corps Medal and turned him into a national hero. But the real impact was internal. Kennedy learned that real leadership comes not from power, but from responsibility. The war, however, also brought tragedy. His elder brother, Joseph Kennedy Jr., was killed on a dangerous mission in 1944. Joe had been the one their father intended to become president someday. Now, that dream shifted to John. Despite his fragile health, Jack stepped into politics, running for Congress in 1946, and won easily. Kennedy quickly built a reputation as an independent thinker. He spoke passionately about labor rights, veterans, and foreign policy during the early years of the Cold War. In 1952, he made a bold move, running for the U.S. Senate against the popular Republican Henry Cabot Lodge Jr. It was a tough fight, but Kennedy's energy, backed by his family's tireless campaigning, helped him win. That same year, Kennedy married Jacqueline Bouvier, a brilliant young journalist with grace and intelligence that captivated America. Together, they became the symbol of youthful charm and elegance, a refreshing image in post-war politics. As a senator, Kennedy's career gained momentum. He published Profiles in Courage in 1956, a book celebrating U.S. senators who took moral stands despite political risks. The book earned him the Pulitzer Prize, adding to his growing prestige. But JFK was not content to remain in the Senate. He had his eyes set on the highest office in the land. The 1960 presidential election became a turning point in American politics. Kennedy ran as the Democratic nominee against Richard Nixon, then vice president under Dwight Eisenhower. The race was razor-thin, but what made it historic were the televised debates, the first of their kind. On TV screens across America, Kennedy appeared calm, confident, and youthful, while Nixon looked tired and tense. In that moment, television changed politics forever, and Kennedy mastered it. His message of hope and renewal resonated deeply. We stand today on the edge of a new frontier, the frontier of unknown opportunities and perils, a frontier of unfulfilled hopes and threats. Kennedy's victory was narrow, but it was revolutionary. At just 43 years old, he became the youngest elected president in U.S. history and the first Catholic to hold the office. His inaugural address on January 20th, 1961, remains one of the most powerful speeches ever delivered. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. With that, Kennedy inspired a generation to serve, to join the Peace Corps, to dream big, and to believe that America's best days were ahead. His presidency was marked by courage under pressure, from the Cuban Missile Crisis that nearly led to nuclear war, to the bold vision of sending a man to the moon. He challenged the nation to conquer not just outer space, but inner fears. JFK was far from perfect. He made political mistakes and faced personal scandals. Yet his leadership style, cool under crisis, eloquent in speech, and driven by vision, made him one of the most admired leaders in modern history. But fate had other plans. On November 22, 1963, while riding through Dallas, Texas, Kennedy was assassinated, a moment that froze time and broke hearts around the world. America mourned, not just for the man, but for the dream he represented. Decades later, John F. Kennedy remains more than a historical figure. He is a symbol of possibility. Proof that words, courage, and ideals can shape the world. His vision for peace, progress, and human potential continues to echo through generations. If you found this story inspiring and want to hear more powerful narratives about the world's greatest leaders, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Your time is valuable. Spend it learning from the lives that changed history.